Shalom, 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 Yahweh B'Hashem Yeshua Barakatah. Hey, before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from, and shalom to the hopeful elect, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Adal. Just some more reports on the end of Esau's world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That is 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 9. And every day, the unicorn, the internet, the firmament gives us information constantly as the books are opened. And we got the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, and all the other fellow prophets, the hopeful elect, harping their harps, man, singing the new song, chanting down Mystery Babylon, which is the land of the North, America, known as the United States, and the race of people, the nation of people who established it, known as the so-called white man, which is the biblical nation of Edom. Their real identity is Edom, the Edomites. Salakia. Salakia. They're falling apart. They are divided, and more continues to come out on how they've always been divided. You know, when Yahweh spoke in the New Testament saying, "A house divided cannot stand," that was talking about both the house of Jacob and the house of Esau. We have been divided ever since King Solomon transgressed as a form of punishment, because when you are divided, you can't stand against your enemies. And the northern kingdom was removed from the whole of the 12 tribes of Israel, not permanently, but we were just separated from each other, where there would be an animosity that would grow between us. And then we would literally be separated from each other geographically for a long, long time. And we are now starting to come together in this truth, but as a whole, we're not together. And as a result, our enemies have been able to have their way with us. Plus, it's the curses and the punishment. Esau's never been whole. They've always fought with each other. White on white crime is the biggest kept secret in the universe. They love to put so-called Jake on television in Chicago and show you black on black crime. And black on black crime, Latino on Latino crime is a real thing. You got the cartels doing what they're doing in Mexico. You got the LA gangs, and then you got the tribe of Judah, the so-called blacks, just blowing each other's brains out over the stupidest shit in America. That shit is horrible. It needs to be judged, and we hate it. But if you want to do the numbers, it really is a relatively new phenomenon. If you want to compare it, what do you think World War I was? World War I was a bunch of Edomites killing each other. World War II was a bunch of Edomites killing each other. The way America was established, they are the little horn. They are the section of Edomites. They had to go through the Spanish, the French, and the British. And the Spanish and the French and the British are three kings. They're three horns in that 10-horn, 7-headed system. That the eighth horn, or the eighth head, I believe, I think I'm paraphrasing it. They had to go through their own people. They had to kill their own people in war to be able to establish America. And the narrative is they were escaping persecution to pursue religious freedom. That's a fucking lie. That's a goddamn lie. Esau's not a religious person. And the only type of religion they truly do have is anything satanic on the left-hand side, because that's the only way they can function. Once you know all this, and then you know prophecy, Isaiah 19, I will turn the Egyptian again. I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. Let's get that real quick. You're going to see this, man. And here goes the prophecy. Second, and everything is governed. Everything on the earth is governed by prophecy. And what is prophecy? Prophecy are oracles of Yahweh, the Most High, delegated out through his right and left hand powers, right? Mainly the right hand, really, but also on the left hand side too, given to the prophets. He explains his secrets to his ministers or his servants, on the prophets on the right hand side, and then we see it played out in the earth. And so 2nd Ezra 6:9 says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That world goes into the word age. Okay? we are now seeing. Let me get this. I will set the Egyptian. I will set the Egyptian. This is Jeremiah. This is going to be Isaiah 19. But this is what's happening, man. Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Let's look at this. Let's look at some of these folks. Let's look at some of these folks on TikTok. Look at this, man.
I have a question for white people that are near my age, close to my age. I'll be 35 in February.
Listen to how she talks. Look at how she dresses. This is a so-called Edomite. She might even be a Jake, but she looks like a so-called white person. She doesn't look like she's trying to assimilate into so-called black culture. She doesn't wear her hair a certain way. She doesn't even look like she has any makeup on. Her clothing doesn't look like she's trying to. So you cannot accuse this person of self-hatred because she's trying to be like somebody else. She's operating in prophecy. Her tongue is falling upon her own people, like it says in the Psalms. Their tongue shall fall upon themselves. Listen to what she says.
How are you dealing with the older whites? Because I'm not fucking with them. We're not friends. We're not family. And I used to, like, you know, when you walk by someone in public, you make eye contact and you give them a little nod, let them know, hey, I'm not gonna murder you or anything. I'm just another person out here being a person. You give them that little look that's like, it's all good and everything. I don't do that for white people anymore. If you appear to be my age or older, you're not getting shit from me. And the reason is really simple. It's because this is all y'all's fault. It's so easy to see that.
Now, she doesn't understand reincarnation, right? And the quote-unquote older generation, yes, they are guilty of things, but she doesn't understand that she has been on the earth before, okay? I'm just going to throw that in there. What I believe I said something in the comments. Put a precept. No, you can't see it. Sometimes they take them out, I think, sometimes. But this goes into they shall complain about they will seek to save the poor, and they will complain about look, everything that we see, we can explain it now because we've been given the understanding and the wisdom. They shall complain of an ungodly father. I believe that's in Ecclesiastes, and the other one's in Job. So look, the children shall complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake, and they will seek to save the poor. And we are, one of our nicknames in prophecy is the poor. We are also the widow, and we are the orphan because of all the things that has happened. They will seek to, there it is. And that's in Job. Look, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. It's talking about us, and it's talking about the Edomites. Now go back here.
You think for a second, again, I'm 35. If my parents' generation had been cutting off racist friends, family members, and shit like that, and not playing the fucking game, oh my God, we wouldn't be dealing with any of this, right?
And it's impossible because why? Esau is the biblical, prophetic arch enemy of Jacob. This is what she doesn't understand. This is what the majority of the planet doesn't understand, because they're underneath the deception of the black and white social construct. They are not white and we are not black. They are red and their name is Esau, and we are different shades of brown and our name is Jacob. And that's what people don't understand. But they know something fucked up is going on. But they have to understand it from a position of prophecy with understanding.
Right now, these old white people fucking sat back, giggled and bumped elbows with fucking wannabe Nazis, literal would have been Nazis if given the opportunity.
And those Nazis are their own family members. That's the tribe of Teman. Talking about the Germans. See, the white on white crime is a very real thing. They just don't call it as such. What are Nazis? They're so-called white people. Didn't they have an ideology of white supremacy? Don't white people in America have the same kind of ideology as white supremacy? They just do it differently, but they still are proud, are they not? And same with the bankers. The bankers, what nationality are the bankers? They're just another tribe of Esau. The bankers are Amalek. Are they not racially proud? You fucking better believe they are. You see how this is white on white crime is a very fucking real thing. World War III will be white on white crime. It will be Russia launching off rockets on America. And I got a couple of more videos I got to play to show you, to further show you this. White on white crime is the biggest kept secret on the planet Earth, and it's all prophecy.
I'm absolutely just actually disgusted with white people.
And look at her. She's your textbook Edomite with her glasses, her uncombed hair, the way she enunciates words. She's not trying to be a so-called black woman. She's very much fucking Stephanie Bursack White. But she's saying what she's saying, which is prophecy. Let's get another video.
You're looking at brand new.
This is another one. This goes into Esau's crimes against humanity. Not only does he commit crimes against the Hebrew Israelites, the house of Jacob, he also commits crimes against the earth. And we're going to show. Let me pull this. Let's go to 2 Esdras 11. 2 Esdras 11, towards the end, 11, talking about the eagle. And this is one of the main reasons why they took the Bible out of, or they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible, the 1611 Bible. Okay, right here. All right here. Okay, let's go to, so I'm going to read it down. 2 Esdras 11, verse 37 down. And I beheld, and this is a vision that Esdras is receiving from the Most High through Uriel the angel. Okay, and I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the woods. That's Yahushai. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle. The eagle is speaking about the Roman Empire before it fell. But then it would what? It would renaissance again. What does renaissance mean? Resurrection, come back to life, and that would be in the form of America. So you got to understand how prophecy works and how the Roman / Edomite / so-called white man's rulership would span throughout time. They would take 1,000-year break, a 1-day break. They would be in the pit, the bottomless pit, bound with a chain for 1,000 years. It's talking about the white man. It's not talking about Satan, the prince demon spirit, in Revelations 12, I believe. And then they would be let out to deceive the earth for a little time. And that's what we have seen with America, with their media, with their whitewashing of history, and they're controlling the narrative. They were given the technology, which is power, to have the radio, the press, and the television, and then go into the internet. And with the internet is where they lost control. The internet opened it up for all of us, and then that's when the prophets began to be able to increase their voice on the internet. And now we're able to take the truth that's been opened up in the firmament and line it up with everything happening on the internet all over around the world and line it up with prophecy. And we're the only ones that are doing this. Okay? And I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the woods. Then I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, and so now this is Yahushai, the son of the Most High, speaking to who? The Roman Empire. The eagle is the national symbol for America. It's on all the coins. It's on the dollar bill for a reason. If you go back in time and look at photos of old ancient Roman coins, the eagle is on the Roman coins. If you look at the flags, if you look at crests, it's all over. Spain, France, Germany. It identifies them. Okay, NATO and the EU. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee. Okay. And Yahushai always honors his father, because this is Yahushai speaking, and he's like, I'm going to speak to you, but the highest, talking about his father, and my father is going to say unto you. So Yahushai is always an honorable son. I always like to point that out in this prophecy, because this is how he represents himself, and he is our most beloved elder brother. He is our example. Okay, verse 39. Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts? What is that talking about? The 4 beasts mentioned in the book of Daniel. Okay, the 4th beast, the one that was different from all the other beast systems. Why? Well, its military and the way its government was ran. It went. All the prior beasts were monarchs. They were ruled by one man, a king, and that kingdom would always transfer down from son to son to son. when the Romans, when the Edomites came into fruition, it was two sides. It was the two eyes. It was the right and the left. It was the Democrats and the Republicans. The plebeians. What was the Russians? What were the? Let me see. I'm brain farting, but we got to prove this stuff. We don't just want you guys thinking that we're just talking just to talk. Let me I don't want to lose my. Okay, I'm gonna have to. So let me see if I can pull that up really quick. What were the two sides? What were the two sides? Let me see the two sides of the Roman government. One was the plebeians, I believe. The Roman government. The plebeians. Look, let me see the plebeians. The plebeians, I think. The plebeians. Okay. And let me see if that does it. Let me see the plebeians, the wealthy landowner. Yeah, the plebeians. Let me see. The patricians and the plebeians. Okay, so look, so this goes into your two eyes. This goes into your house divided. Because you're not supposed to run a government where you have two sides, because you'll always have a split down the middle. So this always leads into so-called white-on-white crime just by the way they do their fucking government, you guys. It's impossible not to see it like this. The two main sides in the Roman government and society were the patricians, the wealthy, land-owning aristocrats who initially held all power. It's like your banking families, your quote-unquote Republicans and your conservatives, and the plebeians, the common people, farmers and tradesmen who fought for centuries the conflict of the orders to gain equal political rights. So you see the division right there. A house divided cannot stand. So this goes all the way back to the beginning of their rulership. They've always been a divided people. So do not fall for this bullshit that black on black crime is the only version of interracial or international self-hatred or war. They've always been like this, you guys. You gotta fucking discern this shit, man. The thing about Esau is they're really good at self-projecting or gaslighting other people, especially Jake, by telling the world, look, these guys do this and this and that, when they're the ones that do it the worst. They brought out Bill Cosby, P. Diddy, and the other guy, the singer, fucking I Believe I Can Fly, dude. And they told you, and those Jakes are wicked. But where are those Jakes at? They're in Esau's kingdom. Esau rules the airwaves, the internet, or the airwaves, television, and music. And all three of those Jakes were in that industry, and they were doing weird sexual practices. But why? Because Esau does that shit. Esau's the king of that industry. Can you guys see this shit? So let's go back. We're going to go back to fucking 2nd Esdras 11. You got to see this, and I'm making a point. So look, 2nd Esdras 11. I don't want to get too far off of it. And I behold, hold on. All right. Okay. And the fourth came. Okay, so right here. So you see Yahushua rebuking the eagle, who is, right? Hear thou, verse 38, hear thou, and I will talk with thee. And the highest shall say unto thee, art thou not thou it that remaineth of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world? And the four beasts goes into the vision of Daniel. And the fourth beast is talking about the so-called white man, right? The Romans, which goes into the Greeks and the Romans and now America, that the end of their times might come through them. 40. And the fourth came, right? At the beginning we just saw the establishment of Rome, and overcame all the other beasts, the other rulerships, the other nations, the other kingdom systems that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness. What does this line up with? Revelations. The whore that sits on many waters. The whore that rides the beast. Who's the beast? The EU, right? And now they're about to fucking go to war with each other. And over the whole compass of the earth. There's only one race of people that can claim this, and that's the so-called fucking white man right now. So they are that fourth beast. They are the eagle, with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. Everything about the so-called white man is a fucking lie. That's all they've ever done is lie. They've lied about the Bible. They've lied about space. They've lied about history. They lie about themselves. They're not telling you who they are in biblical prophecy. Everyone else is a boogeyman, but not the white man. And the Bible says the white man is the wicked. Verse 41, for the earth hast thou not judged with truth. See, this is an accusation. This is a judgment. Yahweh Shai is going to speak completely onto the white man when he comes to get his ass. Okay, 42, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast left liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit. What's he doing in South America right now? He's taking the resources, has been taking the resources. What are they doing in Africa? Taking resources. That's all they fucking do. They have a fucking a symbol, the pirate, the skull and crossbones. The bonesmen are like an elite group of Edomites, and they're telling you that their symbol is the thief. That's what a pirate is. A pirate is a thief, and cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Verse 43, therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up on the high to the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty, and they are the most proud. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. And this lines up with the singing that takes place in Isaiah 14 when Lucifer falls, that all the earth may be refreshed and may return being delivered from thy violence. Violence doesn't stop in the earth until the so-called white man is removed from power. Jacob doesn't get salvation until Esau is brought into captivity, you guys. There is no working together with these people. They have to be removed from power. That's the only way they stop, is when they are made and forced to stop. They do not repent. And that she may hope for the judgment and the mercy of him that made her. I read all this to go into this. Look at this, man. I'm going to end it pretty soon because I don't want to take too long. So she said what she said.
I have a question for white people.
You got all this you got this division, but they've always been divided because they're divided within their government. Remember, the plebeians and the patricians. You got to remember that. And what does the scripture say? As the judge is, so are his officers. So if they're divided up top, they're going to be divided on the bottom, and they're going to be divided for many different reasons. And now you have this version of division, where they're now angry with their own race of people because they're realizing, dude, you guys have to tell the truth about this shit. We are the ones doing all this shit. You can't keep fucking blaming black people for fucking everything. And niggas are dumb. They do dumb shit. The 2/3 do stupid shit, bro. But we don't affect the planet. We don't affect housing rates. We don't affect fucking market. We don't manipulate the market and control oil and gold. There's only one race of people that control that shit. We don't make other nations go to war, you guys. That's the so-called white man. You got to see it for what it is. So she's saying what she's saying.
People that are near my age, close to my age, I'll be 30.
And why is she complaining?
5 in February. How are you dealing with the older whites? Because I'm not
How are you dealing with whites? Now look.
You're looking at brand new video released within the last hour officially from the Attorney General. You can see the tanker in the distance, U.S. agents rappelling down from helicopters you see here. They appear to search cabins and compartments on board as the footage goes on. The Attorney General says the agents executed a seizure warrant.
Look, the U.S. becoming pirates now. The Navy is a joke. Look, no, they've always been pirates. You mad, bro? Look, and then you got Jeff. Of course, no, I'm ashamed. Ashamed that my once proud nation was turned. No, they've always, Arcadian, they've always been the thieves. They were never good. Ashamed that my once proud nation has turned into piracy. Now look, this is awesome. Look, now we're gonna show you what. We're gonna go back. Skull and Bones. Look at this, bro. Skull and Bones Society images. These Edomites have always been the thief. What's the skull and bones? What is the skull and bones? Look, what is this skull and bones symbology? Symbol meaning. Okay, look, it means thief, skull and bones. Let's go here. All modes. What is the skull and bone meaning? The skull and crossbones symbol primarily signifies death, danger, and mortality, but its meaning varies widely across different cultures and historical contexts, including use as a warning for a poison or pirate flag, a religious symbol, and a memento mori. Common meanings? No, it means before it meant piracy. Right there. During the golden age of piracy, 17th and 18th, the golden age of thieving. That's all it means. They're the thief. Pirates adopted the symbol for their flags, collectively known as the Jolly Roger. The flag was used to strike fear in merchant ships and warn them to surrender without a fight, implying that no mercy, no quarter would be given if they resisted. Okay? So this is going into theft. That's what it means. It means theft. And that's what you see here.
Yo, between you and me?
That's what you see, the so-called white man. So what does he do? He accuses you.
You're looking at.
He accuses you on his media. He calls you names. He accuses you of a crime that he says you did. He doesn't come from the Bible. He comes from his own resources. He makes you look bad in his media, which is technology, its power on the left-hand side. It then affects the minds of the people who watch the media, and then emotionally, mentally, everybody's on the side of the so-called white man as he goes all over the earth justifying why he does what he does to other nations. They are the only race of people on the planet Earth that has ever done this, you guys. Have you ever wondered why? Because they are the eagle. It's written in prophecy that they would do this. They've been empowered to do it, but it doesn't mean it's okay that they're doing it. You got to understand, whatever's written in prophecy is what happens on the earth. And the scriptures say that they would what? Let's go back. We got to keep showing you. Let's go back. 2nd Esdras 11. What would they do? Let's go all the way down. Look, for 42, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealings come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. So they have to be brought down.
Brand new video released within the last hour officially from the Attorney General. You can see the tanker in the distance, U.S. agents rappelling down from helicopters, you see here. They appear to search cabins and compartments on board as the footage goes on. The Attorney General says the agent...
How much do you think that ship cost? How many millions of dollars? Just the ship, not even including the cargo it has on it, which is probably oil. How much does an oil tanker... Damn.
...has executed a seizure warrant for a crude oil tanker used to...
Okay, let's find out. Let's find out.
A new crude oil tanker can cost between $40 million and over $120 million, depending on its size. Smaller Aframax tankers cost around $40 million, while very large crude carriers, or VLCCs, can cost over $120 million. Used tankers are available for $10 to $25 million.
There you go, bro. Just the fucking tanker. We're not talking about the oil that's on the tanker, you guys. They're just taking this shit, bro. Imagine driving your Bentley, driving your fucking Cadillac, whatever, your truck, your $40,000, $20,000 truck, and the cops just take your fucking shit. You'd fucking lose your mind, right? This is fucking anywhere between 40 and 120 million.
Transport.
Just for the fucking shit, bro.
Sanctioned oil.
And what do you see? You see white boys in fucking camouflage taking the shit, but they're not looked at as thieves. Why? Because the oil was sanctioned. What the fuck does that even mean? It still doesn't make it your fucking oil. You see how crazy? They're in public stealing, but they're not viewed as thieves. They're not looked at as thugs. We are looked at as thugs, and we don't do nothing like this fucking shit right here.
From Venezuela, as well as Iran. And you're looking at this brand new video. As you can see, it's courtesy of the Attorney General, and it is unclassified according to the United States, which is why it's now on the news. The New York Times reports a federal judge signed off on this warrant. Of course, there is a domestic element.
So you got a judge involved. You got the reporter and the news involved. They're all Edomites, but the verbiage they are using, it's all legalistic sounding verbiage. If this was a bunch of so-called black men doing this, how do you think they would be speaking about it? Fucking exactly. Bro, these people are fucking hypocrites and they are wicked, man.
To this, the laws being applied, but also this is a major international act. You're looking at
President Donald Trump confirming that the United States has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela.
As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela.
And this is the same man, same race, same nation. What are they doing right now? They are locking up and capturing migrant workers, calling them names, saying that they don't want them in their country. At the same time, while they are going to the same fucking country, right? That they're claiming they don't want those people over here. They're going over there and taking their fucking oil. How do you come on, bro? Show me another fucking race of people that can do that exact same playbook. Because you can't do it. But you're going to tell me these people can tell the world about the love of God? That these people would tell you the truth out of the scriptures? Bro, they're fucked up here. They're fucked up everywhere.
Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And
that means it's probably one of the $120 million fucking dollars, bro. God damn.
Other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later, and you'll be talking about that later with some other people.
Well, we're just learning from a U.S. official that the U.S. Coast Guard seized that oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. But
you notice how they don't use the word jacked, carjacked, or stole? They don't use those words. That's exactly what it is. It's seized, as if it's seized. What's the word? I said, what's it?
Stole means taking something without permission, a private theft. Seized usually involves legal authorities taking something, often related to a crime, or it can mean taking something by force, like a jammed machine part. Seizure can be temporary or lead to permanent loss. For legal advice, consult a professional.
See how it's different? But what law did Venezuela break that they were supposed to be listening to the white man? You see how this, and this is what the so-called white man does all over the earth. But they say it's something else. He stole that fucking thing, bro.
you didn't get any further details from the president or the White House beyond that soundbite you just played there. The president calling this the, quote, largest one ever seized. But again, no further information on this. But the bigger context here is that all this comes as the president has been escalating pressure on Venezuela's government, particularly the president, Nicolas Maduro. In recent weeks, the U.S. has launched more than 20 strikes on suspected drug boats, killing more than 80 people. And just yesterday, the president said that Maduro's days are numbered, and he has repeatedly said that strikes on land in Venezuela could be coming soon. We have also in recent weeks, Kira, seen a pretty massive show of military force in the region, a big U.S. military buildup, including deploying the massive aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, into the Caribbean Sea. President.
Viral security, it's a dramatic escalation in the Caribbean, approaching by...
And then look at this. Yeah, they're taking my comments down. Because I left a comment. I said, so-called white males are failing on all levels. And the internet keeps bringing it out because this Edomite right here on the right, and his girl, they get robbed, and the white dude runs. And he watch this fucking shit, bro.
Viral security footage captured on December 6th shows the terrifying moment a woman was forced to fight off a knife-wielding mugger after her much taller male companion chose to step back and hide behind a wall. In a move he's now unfortunately paying for with internet infamy. The pair of American tourists...
All the other guys from that nation stepped in to protect that girl while the Edomite male ran for himself. Watch this shit, bro.
were walking down the street on vacation in Colombia when the armed attacker suddenly approached them, lunging at the woman trying to steal her phone, according to Newsflash. A man passing by on a motorcycle is then seen doing what her companion failed to do.
I believe Colombia is the tribe of Asher over there in South America, I believe.
Jumping into action to help the woman, the passerby hopped off his bike and hit the mugger in the head with his helmet. A few other people passing by also jumped in to help fight the mugger off in a dramatic struggle.
Look at the white boy. Look at the Edomite. He's fucking peeking around the corner. Look at that bitch.
Only once the thief was subdued is her companion seen managing to make his way out from behind the wall to comfort the woman. This now viral clip has sent shockwaves.
What a faggot, man. Oh my God, dude. Anyways, but you got to see it, bro. Every aspect of what they are is being exposed, man.
It's a dramatic escalation in the Caribbean. Approaching by helicopter and rappelling down to an oil tanker, video shows members from an elite Coast Guard unit.
See, this is an elite Coast Guard unit. They're not called thieves. They're not called thugs. And what they are doing is not called theft. It's all look at the amazing things that we are doing. Look, and this has been the weapon. This has been the media and how they manipulate it has been another aspect of their weaponry, of their sword.
Seized the ship with weapons drawn and no resistance just after it left a Venezuelan port Wednesday.
Largest one ever seized, actually.
The tanker, called the Skipper, was sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury for alleged ties to terrorist groups, including Hezbollah.
See, get the fuck out of here, bro. See, they keep throwing this Hezbollah shit. Who the fuck is Hezbollah? Haven't seen no Hezbollah. Ain't seen no Hezbollonian, no Hezbollah. It's all fucking bullshit. It's an imaginary boogeyman. See, but they throw, I had to come over here and I got to come into your house and take this from you. Why? Because the boogeyman was here. You were talking to the boogeyman on your cell phone behind the shack. And because you were talking to your boogeyman behind the shack, we got to come and take your fucking Porsche. The fuck out of here, bro.
U.S. officials say it was being used to illegally transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela.
So we have to steal from you because we think you're stealing. Get the fuck out of here. Woo!
And Iran for years.
It was seized for a very good reason.
Wednesday.
For a very good reason. Because it was seized. It was stolen because I said so.
Marks the first tanker seizure since the U.S. began a costly military buildup in the Caribbean, which includes the deployment of the USS Ford aircraft carrier and at least 22 strikes on alleged drug boats in the region. The Trump administration has said the operation is to combat drug trafficking. This week, the president issued a warning to Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, who has been...
So the Venezuelan leader, the king of Venezuela, he's a dictator. Which was what? That's bad. There's something wrong with him. We say there's something wrong with him, which then justifies all of our wicked treatment of him and his people and his belongings. And yet, what does the scripture say? What does the scripture say, bro? What does it say? Esdras 11. What does it say about the eagle? What does it say? For the earth hast thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars. This is what Yahweh sends Yahushai to say to Esau Edom. And Esau Edom has to listen because Yahushai is stronger than Esau Edom. When Yahushai comes back and says this, he's going to be in his chariot. He's going to be traveling in strength, like it says in Isaiah 63. He's going to be in the UFO the size of a mountain with a fleet of ships and other Alahayim with him to back up the truth of what he is saying to Esau. And Esau's not going to be able to resist the power of Yahushai. Just like no one is able to resist Esau down here on the earth.
Terrorism in the U.S.
Somebody bigger than Esau has to come and stop Esau from doing what he's doing because Esau will never stop what he's doing, you guys. He's in your fucking face talking shit about this guy as he is the one committing the crimes against. This guy hasn't done shit to anybody, dude. But he's the bad guy? Get the fuck out of here, bro. How does that work? How does that work?
Maduro alleges the pressure campaign is trying to push him out of office so the U.S. can control Venezuela's extensive oil
And
reserves.
that's exactly what they're trying to do.
President Trump was asked what the U.S. plans to do with the oil on board the tanker.
I guess so. We're going to keep the.
I guess we're going to keep it. I guess we're going to commit more transgressions because we can, but we're going to go around the world judging everybody else when we say they have committed a transgression. This is why this has to happen. This is why Yahushua has to come back. Yahushua has to come back for many reasons, and one of those many reasons is to set the earth in order and to bring and impose justice on Esau, Edom, the so-called fucking white man, because nobody on the earth is militarily strong enough to do so. I pray that this lesson was edifying. God, man, what the fuck?
Venezuela's government.
I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakagodas, and double honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the hope of that, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits to the marriage supper of the Lamb. This is who is Yahushai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.